right, so I just want to go over an example with you of how the problems will work on today's worksheet. So we're kind of combining perimeter and area again, and the first part is actually going to be something that we have done before. So here we have a rectangle, and we know a rectangle has 4 right angles. Opposite sides are parallel, opposite sides are congruent or the same length. So if we know this side is 10 centimeters, we know that this is 10 centimeters. So using that information and our perimeter, we can figure out the width and then we can figure out the area. So remember, perimeter is all the way around our shape, all the sides added together. So what we have to do first is add the 2 sides that we do know. So 10 plus 10 is 20. So right now we have 20 centimeters. So we got to figure out what's left. So we're going to take our 36 and we're going to subtract our 20. Okay, we don't have to do any borrowing. So when we subtract that, we get 16. So these 2 sides right here together will equal 16. We also know these 2 sides are exactly the same. So essentially, one side is half of 16, the other side is half of 16. So we divide our 16 by 2, we get 8. So this side is going to be 8 centimeters, and this side is going to be 8 centimeters. Okay, so if I would add all these 4 numbers together, they will equal 36. So I have found out my width is 8 centimeters. Okay, so now that I know my length and my width, I can now find area, because area is equal to length times width. So my length is 10, my width is 8. So area equals 10 times 8. Although it doesn't really matter the order that you put them in, as long as you have the 2 correct numbers, when you can multiply in any order. So 10 times 8, 8 times 10, same thing. So I found my area is equal to 80. So when you do this one, so 80 centimeters square. But again, when you're doing it at home on your computer, Chromebook, whatever device you have, you can't really do that little square, that little 2, because I don't want us to do this. Please do not type it in as 80 cm and then a big 2. Okay, so this will be marked wrong because that is not the same thing as the little 2 up in the air. So what you may have to do then is type in your 80 with a space, then SQ period, space, cm. Because 80 centimeters squared and 80 square centimeters mean the same thing. Okay, so those essentially, you're going to do those same steps over and over with the different rectangles that you have on your worksheet. And then you will type your answers into the Google form. You will first type in the width, so there'll be a number 1, width equals, and then there'll be a number 1, area equals. So you'll type in your width, and then you'll type in your area. And you do have to have the labels, and especially on the area, you have to have it correct, or that will be points off. If you still have questions, you can email me, and I can try to work through with it, but I think this should be pretty self-explanatory. And just get those done, get that Google form submitted back to me, and have a great weekend.